So I've been absent for a few days. Lots of things going on. You know, I had talked to you before about my prescient thing. Well, that started in the spring. So, you know, we're going to talk about that and what's happening and what's going on. Okay, so what basically happens, what's been going on, is that, and it wasn't a total surprise. I mean, I've been thinking of this, I could see it sort of coming since last spring. And I had a feeling that it was coming. And then this fall, I mean, you probably saw me start playing with coffee more, publicly anyway. And I could tell that there was something on the horizon. What that was going to be, I was pretty sure, but I wasn't 100% positive, 90%. So what ended up happening was last week, went to work on Friday, all seemingly well. I get done, I go see some people, and all of a sudden I find out the job is shut down. I'm like, what? The job is shut down? Huh? I had no inkling, no idea, not even a thought that this was, you know, something that was going to be happening. It was just popped upon me and was like, okay, well, you don't need to come anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, that's... So I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing. I have a pretty good idea. I mean, there's still a chance that things may change, but, you know, one of the things is that come March 17th, my work papers are up. And as of right now, there's no point in me renewing my work papers. For what? Maybe. And, you know, this whole thing I'm not going to get into. I know all the particulars. I'm not going to get into any blaming this one, blaming that one, whatever kind of thing. No, that's not going to solve anything. The thing that we have to do now is we have to think of what we're going to do, how we're going to pursue everything. And, you know, like I said, I already started these plans last spring because my nature is to, if I see something and I feel something and that, you know, that prescient thing, I don't know, is it a gut feeling? Is it a sixth sense? I don't know what it is. But I usually, maybe it's just I analyze everything and see what's happening. So I start to get thinking. And I started thinking in the spring something was going to happen. By fall, I was probably 80% sure something was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen like this, but I had a pretty good feeling it was going to happen. So what are we going to do? That I'm not entirely sure. I mean, there's still a maybe 2% chance things are going to change and things will work out here. But, you know, we've been here for like 15 years, on and off, and then, you know, full time. And it's been one thing after another that's come about, gone into play, looked wonderful, and then just crapped out. You know, whether it's just the nature of here, the things I've been involved in, but I mean, there's been plenty of things that I've tried and done and given everything I could possibly think of for here, and every time is sort of like it's a dead end. It goes, it looks great, and then boom, something happens. And like I said, I know what happened in this one, and it was just, you know, it was a matter of it's a money thing. If I don't, if I'm not making the money, I'm not going to just sit here and do nothing. I've got to figure out something that I can do to make money. And what's going to happen? You know, I tried to make sure that, okay, the guys and everything, hopefully they'll be able to continue in some fashion at some point, but it's out of my control. I can't dictate that. I'm not working there anymore, so I don't have any input because I don't get paid. If I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to be going to work. I mean, that's just the reality of it. If I was getting paid or whatever, or promises that were made were fulfilled, which they weren't, then that would be a different story. But right now, it's a dead issue. And I mean, I think what'll end up happening is that you may have already seen that I put a piece of land up for sale in Eleuthera Island shores that we had, and that one I think is under contract. I'm having a little difficulty with the lawyer getting a proper response out of them, but I think there's a deposit and everything is going in that route. I've put up the Toyota for sale because if there's no money coming in, I've got to generate some. Otherwise, well, think of yourself. No money coming in, what do you do? And I'm going to be trying different things to figure it out. And, you know, coffee has been one of those things. I think there's a great deal of potential in that business. Here, yeah, maybe, but not yet. It's still way too early for that type of a business here. In future days, there could be something, but right now, I think it's a little too early for this population of people. So like I said, I'm not going to get into this blaming thing or somebody's at fault or whatever. Yeah, there are problems, but it doesn't solve anything. Our plan is to, like I said, unless something changes, pretty much sell off everything that's here. We've given everything we can. We've tried the websites. We tried getting people to come on for, you know, that business aspect, bringing publicity to the island and everything, and I think that's, you know, that's really been a big thing. But I can't continue to do that, or we can't continue to do that just for the sake of fun without money coming in. And, you know, right now we're looking at those ventures. Yeah, you're looking at $150, $160 a month. That's not going to make it too far, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. So we're going to end up, I think, we'll sell off the vehicles and then put the house up for sale at some point, and then end up moving back to Vermont. And more than likely we're going to be starting a coffee roasting business. That's what I've been researching. It's something I can do. I'm not worried that I haven't done it, that I'm 60 years old and I'm going to start something. That doesn't bother me. It's going to be a whole new adventure, but I think there's a lot of potential in it. And how it's going to work and everything else, I'm really not sure. I mean, we're probably going to build a new house at some point, and we'll set it up to roast and start doing that stuff. And then we'll see what comes of it. If it grows and expands, wonderful. Then maybe at some point we can be coming down here again as tourists. But in the meantime, we have to adjust and do what we need to do. You know, there's going to be a lot of things that I missed. The water, the people. There's some really great people here. But again, I got to make a living. So I've got to figure out a way to do that. And if I can't do it here, then I have to do it somewhere. So I'll let you know what happens, how it happens, what the plan is, where we're gonna, there's a lot of ifs. Like I said, I've been thinking about this a lot since spring. Fall, it got more imminent, and now it looks like it's a reality. And it's not like, you know, this is the first time that I've had to change course. It happened, you know, a good few times over the years. There's, you know, things like this with being able to go down the end of the key, do some fishing, or just listen to the water. Yeah, I'm going to miss all that. But, you know, it's going to be a new journey. Am I looking forward to spending winters in the subarctic again? Not so much so. But, you know, that's one of the things that you just have to deal with. I can't just stay here, and I'm not, you know, entitled to just stay here and do whatever I wanted. If I did, well, then that would be a different scenario. But I'm not entitled to, you know. I'm a foreigner, and I have work papers, which, you know, like I said before, I don't see the point in renewing because they cost thousands of dollars. So it's just one of those unfortunate situations where I've given it, or we've given it everything we can. We've tried everything we can think of to make it work here, and it just always gets stuck. Something seems to happen, it kills it. I mean, it's been that way so many things. You know, at a later point in time, I'll tell you a lot of these other adventures that we have, but not now. So what's going to happen? I have a pretty good idea. I'm not 1,000% sure, but you know, things could change, but it is what it is, kind of thing, and we'll play it as it comes. But I'm not very optimistic for the future here. We've tried everything. What are you gonna do? Oh, and there's been a lot of adventures. I told you about the Eleuthera Island Shores one. That's just one of them. There's been plenty over the years, and you know, if I'm not here anymore, then I'll probably be able to tell you those. But in the meantime, we're going to keep the videos coming on a daily basis. I don't know when. We'll either, you know, take off March or May, or I'm not sure, but we'll keep you abreast of what's going on.